Hello students, welcome to the series on learning Python. In this series, you will be learning Python based on Anna University syllabus. Okay, Python is one of the most powerful languages out there, and I can say it is the fastest growing languages. Many developers are moving their projects over to Python because of powerful and also easy to use language. In my experience with many powerful programming languages, I have learned first I was exposed to C programming language. So when I was learning C programming language, I felt that C is the best language to use and it can be used for a variety of applications. I then moved on to learning C++. And I understood all object-oriented concept. I found that C++ was little bit tedious. And when I moved on to the next language called Java, I felt that this is the programming language and this is better than any other language. Then finally, when I was exposed to Python, I was amazed by its simplicity and also the capacity to learn easily. So this is the very powerful, fastest growing language today. Okay, so in this lecture or in this video, we'll be learning this programming language based on Anna University syllabus. Okay, next coming to the syllabus of Anna University. So this is the code for the subject problem solving and Python programming. And in the first unit, we'll be discussing on the algorithmic problem solving. So we'll be discussing on algorithms, pseudocodes and problem solving methodologies or strategies. Okay, this is what the topics we'll be learning in unit 1. Coming to unit 2, now only we'll be going in detail on Python. So the basics of Python and the data types which is being used, and we'll be learning on expressions, statements and the parameters, etc. Okay, and in third unit we'll be learning how to do the control flow statements and how to use functions in Python. Okay, in fourth unit we'll be learning a separate data structures for Python like list, tuples and dictionaries. And in the last unit we'll be learning on the files, what are all the file operations we can perform using Python and how can we use packages and modules with the help of Python. And the textbook here they have given here is Alan Downey, Think Python, How to Think Like a Computer Scientist, and these are all the references they have given for this subject Python. Nowadays, computers become integral part of our lives. The computers are used everywhere. For example, they are used for reserving the tickets, or they'll be used for making electricity bill payment, or if you want to transfer the money from one account to other account, we will be using computers, or if you want to search anything in internet, we'll be using computers, and so on. So each one of us, or directly or indirectly, we are using the computers. So before going into this Python, learning Python, we will be explaining to you the basics of computers and the introduction to problem solving, flowcharts, pseudocode. Okay, so in unit 1, we'll be discussing on the topic called algorithmic problem solving. Okay, so first we will learn what is a computer. So what is a computer? Computer is derived from the word compute. Okay, the word compute means it is to calculate. It is to calculate. So we can say the definition for computer is an electronic device that can accept the data from the user. It will process the data for calculation and then it will generate the output. So the definition of a computer is a computer is an electronic device that accepts data. Okay, so that accepts data from the user, processes the data. So if you want to do any calculation, it will process the data for calculation and then it will generates the output. So this is the the function of a computer. So it is an electronic device. It will accept the data, it will process the data for calculation, and then it will generate the output. So let me draw the block diagram for the computer system. So if you see this, there will be a central processing unit. CPU is nothing but central processing unit. Okay, so what you have to do here, we are going to give the input to the user. So you will have an input. We are giving the input to the user, and this CPU is going to give you the output. So while it is processing the data, it make use of a unit called memory unit. MEMORY, memory unit. Okay, so this is the general block diagram of a computer. So computer consists of input, output, and you have the memory unit. So this will get the data from the user, it will do the calculation, it make use of memory unit, and then it will generate the output. Okay, now so to perform all these operations, it make use of two things. One is hardware and the second one is software. So what do you mean by hardware? Hardware is nothing but it is the physical elements of computer. Like what are the physical elements? If you see the computer, like you have keyboard, you have printer, you have that is like you have desktop. So all these things are physical elements of computer. So these are all the hardware. And what is a software? Software is nothing but it is a set of instructions to control this hardware is called the software. So to perform this task, you need two things. One is hardware and software. Hardware is nothing but the keyboard, printer, or if you what are all the physical elements you see in the computer, all those devices you can call it as the hardware. And what do you mean by the software? Software is nothing but it is a set of instructions. It is a set of instructions to control this hardware. So if you want to control the printer, you need some software. Software is nothing but to control this hardware is called software. So what is a software? Software is, it may be anything. That is, it may be the set of instructions that you need to control this hardware. That is called a software. So you understood the basic concept of the computers, how it is organized. Okay. Next, we are going to see the components of a computer system. So already in the previous diagram, we have seen the parts of computer system. One is input unit, output unit, and we have seen the memory unit, and we have central processing unit. So these are the components of computer system. So coming to input or output unit. So this input or output unit, what is the purpose of using these two units is, users will give the input through the input unit and they will get the output in the output unit. So in this diagram itself, you have an input unit where the user will give the input to the central processing unit through this particular component, and they will get the output through this output unit. So we have various input devices like keyboard, mouse, and light pen, where these can be taken as input devices which can be used to get the data from the user. And output devices are monitor, printer, and plotter. So you can get the output in various ways, where you can get it in the monitor itself, or you can get as a printer, or you can get it in the plotter also. So these are the several input devices and output devices which will be connected to your central processing unit. Next comes central processing unit. So coming to central processing unit, this is one of the most important part of the computer. Okay, this is one of the most important part of the computer. This is mainly used for processing the data. So we can say this CPU is called the heart of the computer. Okay, it is called as heart of the computer. It consists of two units. One will be inside central processing unit. It will have two units. One is arithmetic logic unit. The second one is control unit. The first one is arithmetic logic unit, and you have CU, that is control unit. So this arithmetic logic unit, it will perform all arithmetic operations. Okay, so it will perform all arithmetic operations. So what are all arithmetic operations? So it can be addition, okay, subtraction, or multiplication, or division. And it will also perform some logical operation also. Okay, logical operation like and it can make use of this operation also, and or not. Okay, these are all you will be learning it afterwards. Logical operation. So this is a function of arithmetic logic unit. What is control unit? Control unit, it produces the signals that are needed for certain operations of entire computer. Suppose it will produces signals that are required for suitable operations of computers. Okay. So this control unit, it will give you some signals. Okay, this is going to control the entire part of the computer. So the central processing unit, if you take the central processing unit, it will have other two units. One is arithmetic logic unit, other one is control unit. Arithmetic logic unit, it will perform all your arithmetic operations like subtraction, multiplication, etc. And control unit, it will control the entire components by using sending some signals. Okay, that's all about your central processing unit. And next comes the memory unit. Now memory unit, the function of memory unit is to store programs, data and result. Okay, so what is this memory unit is going to do? It is going to store the programs, whatever the programs you're going to write, it is going to store that, and whatever the data you're going to give, it is going to store that, and it is also going to store the result also. Okay, this computer memory system, it has been divided into three groups broadly. The one is internal memory. First one is internal memory. The second one is primary memory, and third is secondary memory. So this is the division of the computer memory system. So internal memory, primary memory and secondary memory. Memory unit is divided into three broad categories. One is internal memory, primary memory, and third one is secondary memory. Coming to internal memory, this internal memory, it defines some set of registers. So what we will store in internal memory? Memory means it is nothing but storing some data, right? So what is the use of internal memory? Internal memory is the one where you are going to store all your temporary result. So whenever you are going to process your data, you will get some temporary result. Those temporary results will be stored in internal memory. Next comes your primary memory. So this primary memory is your main memory. So here this is a storage area where the programs will get executed, and you will store all your programs, data, everything you will store it in primary memory. So there are two types of primary memory. One is random access memory, that is RAM. ROM is read only memory. Okay, these are the types of primary memory. Coming to the next memory, that is secondary memory. This is your external memory, where if you want to store the data on long-term basis, then you can go for secondary memory. So here it is also called as external memory, or you will be calling it as storage memory. So in many ways, we will be using our external hard disk. If you want to store the data for a long-term basis, then you can go for the secondary memory, that is hard disk, or you can use CD, DVDs or floppy disk. Okay, this is also one type of a secondary external memory, external devices which we were using in the period of 1990s. So this is what a floppy disk which we were using for storing the data as an external device. Okay, that's all about the components of computer system. So in today's video we have learned what is the computer. Computer is nothing but it is an electronic device for accepting the data from the user and for processing it and for generating output. Then we have seen the general block diagram of the computers. It will have an input unit and you have an output unit and you have central processing unit and memory unit. Input unit, you can give the inputs, output unit, you will get the output, and you have a memory unit to store the data, right? In central CPU unit, you have several units like ALU and control unit is there, which will do all the operations part. And hardware is the one which any physical elements of computer you can call it as hardware, and software is a set of instructions to control the hardware. You require a software, right? So we are using these terms. What do you mean by software? It is nothing but set of instructions. Okay, and coming to this, and we have learned separately what is input output unit, what are all the devices we have. CPU means it does two things. One is ALU and CU. ALU is used to perform all these operations and CU used to give signal to the entire components. And coming to the memory unit, it will have three parts. One is internal memory, primary memory and secondary memory. Okay, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you.